You look like you are in a foul mood.
It's not good.
This is not going to be good. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we're jumping straight into the Shark segment tonight, Terry. We're going to give the people what they want and what I need to get off my chest. Nicholas Hines. He's been... Nicholas Hines has been in my mentions all weekend. Good, bad, indifferent. What are your thoughts on Nico, his form slump, and can he reverse it?
I mean, yeah, he can reverse it. He's one of the best players in the competition. There's no two ways about it. But he's in his own head. He gets too involved in discussions about rep selections. He gets too involved in discussions about stepping up for the Sharks. And then he tries to do too much. Or he doesn't do enough. And you saw the classic case in the first half against the Bulldogs. I didn't even know he was playing. And in the second half against the Bulldogs, I just wish he'd get out of the way. I know you're going to come at there's no excuse to miss that field goal, and there wasn't. You pay the bloke $1 million a year, he's got to ice that.
He does.
Not once did I feel that we were the team that should have been trying to kick the field goal. I thought we were the team that should have been trying to score the try. And off that 7 tackle set, we had done so well to stop them getting to in position, and then one offload. One offload. Ironically from Matt Burton.
He was pretty good the other night.
Yeah. I think Nico needs to stay out of the media for a couple of weeks, put his phone down, just go to training. Absolutely.
This is undoubtedly the nicest guy in rugby league. I would say that when things are good, he's the face of rugby league. That's a huge detriment at the moment. After the Origin calamity, and let's face it, he played terribly. You and I defended him, but we said he didn't play well. He knows it, and we're not blaming him. It just does. It happens. He should have been on an immediate media ban, and I still maintain here, when we sat 2 weeks ago, I said he needed to take the bye week off after the Dolphins game and miss this game against the Bulldogs, go up to Coffs Harbour and we'll meet him there for the Titans game. I wish they'd done that. All you saw during the week was excuses made for Nicho Hynes. Oh, he's a young bloke. Oh, you know.
He's like 30.
Well, that's the thing. The most ridiculous thing I saw came from Paul Gallen, who said that Sifa Talakai ran the ball too hard, made too many metres and put not enough space between. He ran the ball. He tried to score. He was held up. He won the ruck, played the ball quickly. I saw someone say the pass from Brayley wasn't good. It hit Nicho Hynes. Good. It doesn't matter. It hit Nicho Hynes right on the chest. And he puts it down. Everyone goes, he was under pressure. Check my Twitter. There's a freeze frame. Reed Marnie's 10 metres away when he kicks that ball. Nicho fluffed it. It happens. But if you're $1 million halfback and you've said, I want it, you've got to kick it from there. It's the easiest field goal in the world to make. Other people said, okay, he was rushed. Okay, hand the ball off. Set it up. It was the fourth tackle.
Or you know what you do? If that's the case and you think that you're too close, the ball goes to Brayley, just take your hit up.
Yeah, just take your hit up.
And then Trindle can kick it.
Yeah, exactly right. It's no excuses, straight up. Now, the overarching thing I've seen this week from people is, you know he's mentally not right. Why are we piling on? If he's not okay to play football, he should have sat out the other night. Now, we're big advocates, both. You know, everyone's been through some stuff. But this is a guy who's in the public eye every time he steps out of the house. That's never, ever, ever going to change while he's a first-grade rugby league player. He's being paid $1 million to be the halfback. If you lose a game, you're going to look at your halfback, you're going to look at your $1 million player and say, you're responsible for this. He's both. He's dragged the Sharks to 2 straight final series. Otherwise, I maintain, we do not make. He was our best player in 2 of the 3, and probably 3 of the 3, to be totally honest. He almost got us there. Brayley messed it up last year. Another rant for another day. I'm not bagging Nicho Hynes the player. I'm certainly not bagging Nicho Hynes the person. But his form now is terrible, and Cronulla aren't good enough to overcome that. We need Nicho Hynes in good form. If he's not right, do not play him this Friday night. Now, I was going to ask you later, I'm going to throw it up. Another one I saw in all the group chats was, why is he playing when we got Daniel Atkinson there? I want to go on record as saying Daniel Atkinson's been the worst player 2 weeks out of the last 3 for Newtown. I know it's different because you had reservations about Ero that haven't come to pass in first grade. It's different. I get it. But if Nicho is fit and healthy and puts his hand up to play, you never don't pick Nicho Hynes. I don't believe he's not. I would rather have a running Dan Atkinson there this weekend, or play with 12 players than have that hanging over
I
us.
think this is the weekend. Like, we're playing the Titans, and we got the Tigers, and then we go to bye. It's unfortunate we go to bye, but these are the two games where you have to say to him, mate, get your shit together, because otherwise, after the bye, we're just gonna shut you down.
Yeah. You could have come out and said, hey, is Cast playing up? You know, he pushed through the Dolphins game because we had the bye, but he's going to need 2 weeks. And no one would have mentioned him. If anyone from the club is watching, there needs to be an immediate media ban on Nicho Hynes.
Yeah.
He cannot be, and everyone will talk to him and everyone will ask the same questions. Where you at mentally? How about Origin? How about the Sharks going? How about are you going? He doesn't need that.
Yeah.
He does. I hope this never gets back to him. He doesn't need the negativity. He needs to separate. There needs to be better decisions from this club. Because what I saw this week, that field goal is unforgivable.
Yeah.
That could be his Chad Townsend moment.
And it was against the Dogs.
It was against the Dogs. But look, anyone who blames Nicho single-handedly for that, lazy.
Yeah.
The forwards were dominated yet again.
You want to speak about lazy?
I'm going to throw this one to you. This is yours.
Our starting props have probably got to be the worst starting front rowers in the competition at the moment, and it's a shame to say. It really is, because Toby Rudolph has shown so much promise, but he just can't get himself fit. Like, and this is the thing. They scored the first try, and he was blowing, and then he's lazy out of marker, and he's standing there with his hands on his hips. He plays another 10 minutes.
Yep.
How is this happening?
I don't know.
We have said, since he made his debut, we have said that Toby Rudolph's best position is 15 minutes before halftime break, 15 minutes afterwards. Start Royce Hunt.
Yes.
For the love of God, start Royce Hunt and play more minutes. Like, if you're going to watch Toby Rudolph struggle around the field, gasping for air, at least have the bloke who's 6'4" and bulletproof gasping for air if you're going to do it.
He'd get his body in the way.
Yeah. I don't know.
Toby Rudolph put in one of the all-time stinkers.
Oregon Kafusi's second stint was phenomenal. Let's not take that away from him.
No, but
his second stint was phenomenal. His start. The problem is, this is the problem with our props in the last 6 or 7 games. We start shit.
We do.
We get murdered up the middle. They get no ball. I saw someone turn around and said Oregon Kafusi's opening against the Dolphins was one of the all-time worst performances they've seen. We didn't have the ball. We were down 22-0 when he went off. They did not have the ball, right?
He can tackle though.
Yeah, he can tackle, but
He should tackle.
if it's a different game where if we're the team that goes up 12-0, our forwards actually get that momentum, and then you're talking about how good was it when we went on our 9-game undefeated streak when Jack Williams came on, Royce Hunt came on, and everyone else came on. Huge came on. BHU came on. Sif comes on. We just don't get that anymore.
No, we don't.
We're not getting, and our backs are unfortunately starting to let us down now. Our safest houses backs, not Will Kennedy, the safest houses backs, dropping the ball in the play of the ball, dropping easy bombs.
They're trying to do too much because they have to.
Yeah.
Now, I straight up, everyone has
yeah.
said that Toby Rudolph is the worst game of all time.
Yeah.
He cannot be named this Friday.
No, you can't.
If he's named, it needs to be for Newtown. The only issue is that at the moment, it looks like we've set up for Adam Fanua-Blake too early. In that we've got big minute props, 1 or 2, and the rest of them can all play 10 to 15 minutes. Impact, and Jack Williams is the outlier. He can do anything except start. Unfortunately, Toby Rudolph can't get through 15 minutes, let alone 25. Oregon Kafusi gets to about 18 to 20 and then gasses. Every time in the last 3 weeks, they've brought their forwards on, their reserve props before us, and we've been behind.
Yep.
That's unforgivable, and that's a coaching error. But Fitz is obviously worried that if he brings Royce Hunt on, he's got to sub him back off before half time. It's not right. Meanwhile, you've got a big minute youngster in the middle playing for Newtown. Now, he was quiet this week because they pulled the Jets off. More on that later. Jesse Colquhoun has got better footwork. He's bigger and he's faster than Toby Rudolph, and he's a lot fitter. He can play anywhere from 8, 10, 13, 11 or 12. He's got to come in right away. And the other bloke that has to come in is Huge Tukes, who was Newtown's best player on the weekend by a long, long way. He dominated everyone in that Roosters
And we
pack.
see him in... I've gone back and had a look at a couple of his Newtown games when he has played and started. He's playing 50 and 60 minutes.
He is. And then when he comes up, they're using him different. You cannot do that. Meanwhile, Hamlin Ueli who missed the game, wasn't named for anyone after playing, 10 minutes last week?
Yep.
And, had a bye, had 2 weeks off, played a bit for
Did he
Newtown.
play for Newtown?
Yeah, he did. He played terribly for Newtown. He was
Brilliant.
bossed. He hit a bloke late, yelled at a ref and got put on report. I don't know what happened, but I'll be shocked if he's not suspended. We need to park him for 6 to 8 weeks, rest up, see you next year. The forward rotation right now is horrible. That starting three, undoubtedly the worst cross competition. Toby Rudolph for Colquhoun. Put Huge on the bench for anyone. I don't care.
I'm starting to get real shirty with Cam McInnes as well. I think he needs to go back to the bench and start Siffer at 13.
We do. Now,
I honestly can't deal with Cam McInnes anymore.
It's just, you can only make so many tackles. You've got to add more.
Yeah.
And him getting up and losing the ball, it's a very negative week. There's whatever. It was a horrible week. But let's just talk quickly about the 3 players that we think should come in.
No, it's a no from Dan Atkinson for me.
Look, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't rate him. I think we got to stick with Trindle, and if he's no good, then we got to look to the younger talent. Anyone who put Puru in their 13 this weekend, get off the pages, delete your account, stop watching football. He's been horrible this year. The 2 players that have to come in immediately, Jess Colquhoun and Huge, and I want to throw Sam Stonestreet in there because Sione Katoa
is targeted.
They kick to him every single time, and he's not tall. He's not particularly quick.
He can break some tackles. He's got good footwork.
Look, I'm not going to bag the bloke because he's been very good this year. But if you were to say tomorrow, Katoa's going to the Tigers.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I said that in our group chat. If he was, we signed him for 3 years. This is year 1 of 3. Signed him for 3 years, and it's too many.
It is.
If he was to go elsewhere, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
Meanwhile, we got a freakish young speed star who's really tall and tears up New South Wales Cup. They don't use him. They go left. They go the Newtown route, and I hate it. But every time Stonestreet touches the ball, he breaks 3 tackles. It's a cheat code. We need to get him in there ASAP, no matter what. I still maintain that we need a genuine halfback / foil for Nico. 7 or 6, do not care. Toby Rudolph, Dan Atkinson, Sione Katoa. You can't tell me there's not money there to find it. I'm just going to leave that at that. But the big question, have we wasted our good start?
Look, yes and no, because the teams around us keep losing. So I think
How are we third?
I think we've got a 2-point gap on the Roosters.
And 2 more on the next slot.
Yeah, we've got a 4-point gap to the Dolphins, the Dogs, everyone else. So yeah, we have. We were 9-1 and now we're 10-5, right? So it's not looking real good. But the thing is, you and I spoke about it on Fins, and we'll talk about it again. We've got a nice draw coming up at the moment where we should be able to bank a couple of wins. I think you and I are frustrated at how we're playing, but I saw a lot of people writing off the Bulldogs, and you can't write it. They haven't been flogged this year. No. They're the best defensive team in the competition for a reason. They've got some super players in there. They just wanted it more than us.
They did.
They had that dog in them.
Yeah, they did.
We didn't. The Jets stink.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave a bit of a lead in here. Fins up tomorrow. We're going to talk about the lack of our centres touching the ball in the halves, because I know people are tuning in, and Will Kennedy just disappearing as soon as it gets you're attacking. So make sure you check that out. Fins Up podcast on Spotify. Sorry for the negativity, but they absolutely deserve it.
Yeah, you can't expect us to be positive over the last 5 weeks.
Terry.
Talk to me, Dan.
All right, we're going to talk some actual rugby league now. Now that
You
I've
look
got
like you're in a better mood.
Well, I am now that it's out.
It's out.
It's out. All the poison's been out. Never thought I would be here on this very couch agreeing with our old mate, Ricky Stewart, who says that referees are just picking random 6 agains. Couldn't agree more, because it certainly looks like they are.
Look, I was a big fan of it when it came in, because you were just getting like 4,000 tries. Manly had 3 players score 70 tries between them. It was awesome, right?
It was fun, yeah.
And then they turned around and said, we're going to tighten the 6 again rule for the first 40 minutes, a penalty or whatever. Then they threaten you. If you give away 3 on your line, it's a sin bin. No, Penrith got about like 8 on the weekend.
Still waiting for the sin bin.
Still waiting for that sin bin. I think they got to get rid of it, and I think that they have to give the onus back to the referees, right? How offside was he? Because here's the thing: if I'm trying to score a try 10 metres out and the bloke's offside, I don't want 6 again. I want a penalty. Give me the 2 points.
Yep.
But
It's a tactic.
But that's the other thing that creeps back into the game. If you get so many penalties, it becomes rugby union, and you just keep kicking for 2
Nobody
points.
wants that.
So what do you do?
Well, I think the referees have to get a better. I'm not high on the refs at the moment, as in a few minutes you will see in great fashion. these things with 6 agains are, compared to penalties, you can give them away and it doesn't really affect, especially
And
early.
you can't challenge.
You can't. But early on, the ref can go 6 again. He was a bit offside. Okay, and then there can be 7 minutes where there's 1,000 things you can get 6 again for that go missing. And then they think, I haven't given any away for a few. I'm going to get now. I'm not saying this happens, but I could find 4 6 agains in every set of rugby league. It is that disgusting at the moment. Players are also giving them away a lot because, first tackle, lean in, everyone's set, yep, sweet, let's go. It's a tactic. Whereas a penalty costs you 25 minutes.
Going back to the Penrith Cowboys game, Helam Lukey made a tackle around about the halfway line, right? And he was not facing his own try line to be in the defensive line, right? So he then spun around the player, still on him, pushed himself up. It's about 5 seconds to play. That's a 6 again or a penalty, right? Yeah. Nothing was given. And then Penrith hold on to the player for about 3.5 seconds. Penalty. Yeah, it's luck of the draw, mate. It's a goddamn lotto.
It is almost random. Yeah. And I don't know what the coaching of the referees is. It should be very different to what it is now. But I don't know whether they're said, hey, look, if let a few go, and if you find it's getting on top. I wish they'd referee every game like Origin in that, look, there's 3 or 4 things, little whatever, we're getting nitpicky. Big thing, okay, penalty. Okay, big thing, 6 again. Blatant offside, gotcha. But then they're going to start coaching to that. Yeah. So, there's no win here, but there's no blanket. There should be this many 6 agains in a game, but this weekend we saw too many, and we saw too many back to back to back. I guarantee you teams will stop as soon as you get 1, 2, see you later.
Thought process. Instead of giving a whole 6 again, do you just add 2 tackles?
You'd see a million of them, though, unfortunately.
Look, but the same thing.
It's no win, but it ain't working. You know what? Let's stick with refereeing. Let's go to the bunker. Do
we have to?
Yes, we do.
How do they get it so wrong?
$30 billion, I hear. Well, might as well be. 50 replays, high def, every angle, no time limits. They still get it wrong. How?
I'm gonna ask the NRL this. I'm gonna ask them, round 27. Yep. Send out a memo to all the teams that you can't play your stars. Round 27 doesn't count.
Yep.
Okay? Round 27 does not count. Put Dan 9 to bunker for the weekend.
Yeah,
I guarantee you we don't get half the stuff wrong.
I agree. You know what we saw last week when we saw Roger Tuivasa-Sheck sin binned? We saw
a disgraceful call.
A disgraceful decision.
And then we saw it again this weekend.
Yeah, and then in Origin we saw the exact same tackle. And I can't remember the circumstances, but the other team said, well, he's got to go. And the rest said, nah, it's not. And then we saw a less bad one earlier, and he got sin bin. And you see Appy get put on report and go, and then he gets sin bin and he goes, what?
It was like the Cameron Smith meme.
Are you kidding me? And the commentators and every single person in the world, other than whoever the idiot was in the bunker, said there's nothing in that. Mm-hmm. He's landed, they said there's a moderate chance of injury. You know when there's a moderate chance of injury? In every single tackle ever made in rugby league ever. These people are too busy, like Peter Goff saying, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, Clint Gutherson. And look, to be honest, you should have gone up at the end and gone, you shouldn't have knocked that ball on just quietly. That would have been excellent. He's got to stop worrying about the players and worry about getting decisions right, because he had an absolute stinker for the second week. And he tripped Gutherson on the way through, which was awesome.
Yeah, I've got to say this, right? If you're a referee in the middle of the field and you see that tackle from Api Coruscant, just have a look at it on the big screen. Mm-hmm. Have a look at it on the big screen and go, yeah, all right, we've given the penalty. All right, I see that. It's not a textbook spear tackle. Could be dangerous. You get a tip off in the ear. You should sin bin that guy. No, go yourself.
Yeah, it was just, he went that far past horizontal, landed flat on his back on his shoulder blades, and Appy went, oh, sorry, mate, straight away. No malice. Now, I know doesn't need malice to be a sin bin.
That's not a sin bin.
That is nitpicky nonsense. And then you saw later in the game where Adam Dewey hip dropped and got sin bin. That was a hip drop. It was a hip drop. But everybody goes, oh, no, it's 11 on. Yeah, because the earlier one was ridiculous. I want to see them, and I'm going to cop grief for this, I don't care. I want to see referees be less arrogant. Mm-hmm. I want to see them stop saying to people, well, you know what happens if the next one happens. You get another 6 again. You know where you'll be sitting. Learn the rules and do your job.
The only person who's got that right was Ashley Klein in Origin, where he said, if it happens again, you're going to have 2 blokes go to the bin. Next tackle happened again. He's like, what? I fucking told you so. Let's talk about the Dogs.
Let's.
Now, they've made some significant signings over the years. Most recently, Reid Marnie, Viliama Kikau, Bronson Xerri, Josh Addo-Carr.
Yep.
Just to name a few of the players that they've brought into the team as well. None more significant than Stephen Crichton.
Absolutely.
23 years old.
Changed the club.
They've named him captain. Is going to win the Dally M Captain of the Year.
Yep.
Is going to win the Dally M Centre of the Year.
Yeah, more than
Is
likely.
arguably one of the best players in the competition right now. And they paid him to play fullback.
Yep.
And just said, you know what? We actually don't need you at fullback. But here's your money.
Yep.
Stephen Crichton's just gone, thank you. Thank you for that.
He could have blown up.
Could have blown up about it. I honestly don't think he's got the attributes to be a fullback because you lose everything that he just offers in that defensive line. My God, he's brilliant. Like, so many times Cronulla went down that edge, and I'm sitting there going, go the other edge, please go the other edge. Go to Jesse Ramian, please go over there. No, we're going to go back, and we're going to let Stephen Crichton make another tackle. Yeah. And we're going to let Stephen Crichton shut that play down. And we're just going to let Stephen Crichton do whatever he wanted to our left edge. It's awful.
On and
He's
off
so good.
the park, this guy is the perfect signing. Now, we've seen bigger names. Matt Burton came across. That was the.
Oh yeah, I forgot him.
That was the one that was supposed to. No, I think Burton's
He's
playing
awesome,
exceptionally well. But it took Stephen Crichton for it to click. Now, earlier when he was named captain, we sort of went, geez, he's young, but, this is a bloke who's won premierships, he's played internationals, he's got a heap of Origin games. It's probably a good shout. In the Cronulla trial, he stood up for the 80 minutes. He played about 15 minutes and stood on the sideline and cheered every tackle. And he cheered every bloke. You're like, this guy's bought in. That's cool.
And he left his headgear on.
Yeah,
he just left
this
his
guy
headgear on standing up
bleeds.
on the side.
Now,
awesome.
I want to make a point of this. On the weekend, when they beat Cronulla, which sucks, Nico Hines fell to the ground, was disappointed. Crichton went over, picked him up, gave him a handshake, and went over and shielded him from the
Sat
media.
down with him.
He is so far ahead of where he has any right to be at that age in terms of a player and a leader that the Bulldogs have gone, you know what, we're going to go with this guy because he's fantastic. He's the best signing of the year.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I would say I would struggle to name 5 more influential so quickly in the past 10.
Last year there was a big debate as to who the best setter in the game was. Joey Manu had a down year, and it was between Stephen Crichton and Herbie Farnworth. This year you're saying it's between Stephen Crichton and Joey Manu. Crichton has, he's leapt above that pedestal right now. He's so much better than anyone.
He's fantastic, and great shout out to him. It's good to see the resurgence from the Dogs.
Yeah, no, it's not. Now, speaking of centres, Tommy Turbo's coming back.
Yep.
Via the centres. You and I called this this time last year when he hurt his hamstring again. Put him in the centres. I think that young Levi Hopewadi and the fact they've got Cooler who can play there as well, and Ruben Garrick.
They got a mountain of superstars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That now puts Garrick back on the wing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a dangerous back
when they're all fit and healthy, you got Cooler and Turbo in the centres, and you got Saab and Garrick on the wing.
I know where I'd be kicking. To either of them all the time.
To anyone.
Wow. I love this. I was so happy to hear.
If you put Turbo and Saab on one edge, that's 6'4" and 6'6".
There's going to be a lot of tries.
Yeah,
they might concede 1 million, but it's going to be really fun. I love this. I am such an unashamed Tommy Turbo fan.
Yeah.
70 plays Cronulla because he usually tears us up. This is a bloke who could very much be the best player in the game, if not for 2 million injuries. And it is what it is. You look at him and think, okay, we can put him at fullback and you have 3 good games, they can get 6 weeks out. Or you put him at centres and you get 8 out of 10 Turbo. And if he gets through the end of the season, I think that's where he plays for the rest of his career. I'm excited to see this. I think Clint Gutherson's going to go the same way because of his advanced age and million injuries also. It's not often you'll see me praising Manly, but I love this. From the Harvard man himself.
Yeah, it's about time that someone has just had the balls to turn around and go, you know what? And it's like the Stephen Crichton thing again. Yes, you're being paid like a fullback. Just go and play in the centres.
He's a superstar centre. He's done it 1 million times.
And he's done it in Origin. He's done it on the biggest stage in rugby league. Awesome.
I'm happy to hear.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Some top sport tips. Brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget, you and I have our little side bet going on. They've said they'll match the money at the moment. I can tell you that we both had shocking weeks.
Surprise, surprise.
You have clawed the gap by a point, but I don't have the overall totals or the money at the moment. Fair to say we're sitting around about $120 for charity at the moment.
Good.
That's where it is. We'll have it all up to date.
I'm giving no money this week.
None?
I'm tipping 8 from 8.
Okay.
No, 7 from 8. And I get one wrong.
Right.
Here we go.
Thursday night, we have the Parramatta Eels hosting the Bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the 16th, Tigers went back to last
They
after
did.
getting
Hilariously.
obliterated.
It's a shame.
They're playing good footy, Parramatta, but it's just not good enough at the moment. Souths are playing awesome footy at the moment. I think they're on a pretty good run, and they've found that...
They've turned the corner, Terry.
They found that combination that works for them. I think it might be too little too late.
Mm-hmm. On paper, this is like 14th versus 16th, but this could be an amazing game.
Yeah, it could be 4th versus 6th.
Yeah,
genuinely.
I'm gonna lean with the away side here.
Yeah,
no disrespect, Parramatta. Bunnies.
I'm going the Bunnies as well. I just think they're playing just a little bit better.
That's it.
Friday, 6 o'clock.
The most 6 o'clock game of all time.
Coffs Harbour. Look, our home away from home, undefeated there, so this is probably going to hurt. Sharks taking on the Gold Coast Titans. It's a big game for the Sharks. The Titans are coming off a bye and a 60-point win.
Yeah, look, it's a must win for Cronulla. Let's be straight up here.
Straight up, it's must win for Cronulla now. The Titans, you don't know what you're going to get from them. Cronulla, you don't know who's going to turn up, what's going to turn up.
This could be 40-0 either way.
Yeah, it could be 40-0, it could be 40-all, it could be a terrible game. It's your turn
to pick the mighty Cronulla Sharks.
Pick the mighty Cronulla Sharks.
With zero confidence.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick the Titans also with zero confidence. Is that Broncos Panthers?
It is.
Holy f***. Broncos taking on the Panthers Friday night.
Grand final No, we're not going to say it.
No, we're not going to say it. It's a grand final rematch.
He said it. It's out there now.
Broncos.
Both coming off losses.
Yeah. Penrith.
Terrible form line.
Penrith thought you could see coming a mile away the minute they said they were going to rest everyone.
That's fine.
The Broncos are... Mate, that was...
Probably shouldn't have rested their players.
That was absolutely terrible. It's all going to depend on whether Reece Walsh plays. Pain ass. You don't know what's going to happen with them.
I would wheel Adam Reynolds out on every painkiller in the world because I want a good game this Friday night. I'm excited. I'm going to tip the home side. I'm going to tip the Bronx because they've been so deplorably bad that they're due.
I think it's only going to get worse.
Fair
and
enough.
I'm going to tip Penrith in a bounce back.
Fair enough.
They're not going to lose to 2 Queensland teams in a row.
Good point.
Good point. Super Saturday. God, this does start off with a good game.
Yeah,
3 o'clock. I think it's at Belmore.
Could be.
Dogs and Warriors.
Ooh, got an attacking team versus a defensive team. Neither of them are like...
Lights out.
Yeah, and you're not going to say, geez, they're definitely going to do this. This is like a random,
Yeah.
and I'm excited.
The Warriors, again, we say they look so much better without Sean Johnson
They
this
do,
year.
unfortunately.
Tamari Martin and Chanel Harris-Tavita have got a nice combination. And it's like that combination that SJ and Metcalf had.
Yeah, it's all combos, too.
Yeah, it is. It all comes down to combos. Something about Tamari Martin and Sean Johnson just doesn't click. Tamari Martin and Chanel Harris-Tavita does. They were awesome against the Broncos.
Very good.
The Dogs, look,
Okay.
it was a really good win, and you're impressed with the defensive side of things. I still think there's a lot of deficiencies there, and it mainly comes in either the 1 or the 7 spot.
Connor Tracy should be back.
Connor Tracy should be back, and that gives them a lot more running meters, but doesn't give them a lot of attacking prowess. That said, it's a home game. I'm going to pick the Dogs.
Yeah, I'll pick the Dogs too, especially if it is at Belmore. I should have checked that first, but that is going to be...
It's probably at a core, but if it's at Belmore, they're going to score 40.
That could be... You know how exciting it is to see a full Warriors crowd?
Yeah.
A full Bulldogs crowd? Sign me up.
5:30.
I dare you to talk this game up, Terry.
Oh, I'm
What do you
trying
got?
hard. The Tigers, did they score? They didn't score a point against the Roosters.
They did off the last play.
Did they score? I'd left the house by that time there.
Good.
Against the Melbourne Storm.
They may not score a point this weekend. Sorry, Tigers. Look, they're 2 from 3, Terry. You're too negative.
I just don't know. I don't know what hope there is. Like, this Melbourne team, on paper, is about the 6th best team in the competition. Cam Munster hasn't played a game this year.
We actually forgot a point in the last one that said, "Are the Storm that good?" We'll save that for next week.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be real good on Saturday evening.
They're good. Like Tyron Wishart, who has played hooker, winger, centre, fullback, is now playing 6.
Yep.
And he's just
Genius.
the perfect foil for Jerome Hughes, who is the best player in the competition at the moment. Bar none.
Yep.
Right? And then you've got like this no-frills forward pack that keeps Nelson on the bench, and he comes on and just has 17 runs for 190 metres. They're awesome.
They are. They've got
It
no
sucks.
name back line.
I hate Craig Bellamy so much.
He's too good. I think the Tigers are going to hate the Storm this week. I think this is going to get worse before it gets better again.
Look, I don't think they're going to score 40 points as easily as the Roosters did, because the Roosters just score points for fun, right? And only good teams beat the Roosters at the moment. That was a shot. We're not good. But I think Melbourne still win this game and win it comfortably.
Storm by plenty.
And 7:30 up at Country Bank Stadium. We see the return of Tom Turbo. The Manly Seagulls away to the North Queensland Cowboys.
Turbo versus Val, potentially.
Val, right wing, yeah, maybe. Depends on, I think, right centre, I think they'll both be right centre, so they'll be opposite sides.
Oh, that sucks. So this is going to be a fun game, because these are another two teams that you don't know what you're going to get other than bad halfback play from the Cowboys. Jake Clifford is so much better than Chad Townsend.
Chad Townsend was awesome against Penrith, though. I hate saying it, but he was unreal. He was so good. Like, you can't flip it any other way. He handled that wet.
Want to bet?
Yeah, he handled that wet weather game so good.
I think he's going to be the second best halfback on the field this Saturday night.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He is. But I mean, he was the best.
That's if I'm playing against him.
He was the best halfback on the field, because the other one was Brad Schneider, who you were also better than.
Yeah, well, that's true. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a fun game. I'm going to pick the Cowboys just for home ground advantage.
I'll go Manly just to bet 50-50 either way.
2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, we have the Sydney Roosters hosting the St George Illawarra Dragons. The Dragons back in the top 8.
They are.
Probably for a week.
Very uppity at the moment. Their fans, you're going to get humbled this Sunday afternoon.
I think you're going to get smacked. Now, Joey Manu, broken hand confirmed.
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks. Looks like he's going to be out for. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Connor Watson went to centre and looked like the best centre in the game.
They're going to have to wheel out literally. Well, Michael Jennings probably going to come back. That sucks. But Tupanua played on the other centre.
No, you got. Oh no, he's suspended for 8 weeks for decapitating Connor Tracy. Yeah, Jennings probably comes back. Doesn't matter. I will say though, Moses Sully has really stepped up for the Dragons most recently, but it's going to be a down week for the Dragons. Don't think it'll be 60 points that you copped on Anzac Day, but I hope it is. And the NRL just decided to ruin our Sunday afternoon by having 2 of the worst teams in the competition playing the 4 o'clock.
And it's not even in Newcastle, so you get the big crowd to enjoy.
No, it's in Canberra.
It's
cold, it's miserable, it's wet, and it's full of concrete.
And they clap.
And it's full of people from Canberra. As the Raiders host the Knights. The Knights are awesome. The Raiders stink. I think they're going to keep free falling. Give me the Knights in this game.
Well, I'll go Canberra then for whatever's. Thanks again, everyone, for joining in. It's been a therapeutic session from myself. Been very negative, but we are Cronulla fans. Of course, we want to thank our great mates, Top Sport, who keep us here on the couch every single week. Terry, I got nothing more to add. I'm in a terrible, terrible mood. Thanks for putting up with me.
That's all right. That's what I do best.